Yeah, okay, so the double shunt thing. So, with the For the Win 3, you know what I think you can do? You know how... Wait a minute, let me get paint out. We're getting some paint, boys. You know what I think you can do? You know how there's a PCIe shunt and then the 3 8-pins up here? This one goes to 80 watts, limits the other ones all up, right? So, what would... I haven't tested this. I'm not going to test this until I actually get a water block. But, what if you single shunt this one and double shunt these ones? Do you know what I mean? Essentially, what the board would detect would be, this one would be down to like 50 watts, right? Burnskog is following. Sup, man? You're already in the Discord anyway. So if this is detecting 50 watts, it's going to pull more from the rest of the board, right? But if it's detecting even less from here, it would pull more down the line here to match this, right? That's just a theory. I have not tested this. But so you would only need... So if you left this stock, it already pulls 80 watts stock, so it wouldn't work, right? We already know that it doesn't work. But if you just give it a little bit of wiggle room to be like, oh, I can pull more from here kind of thing, right? And then you give these ones way more headroom by double shunting them, I think that might fix the load balance issue. I could be way off base here. I have not tested it. I will test it when I actually get a water block for my For the Win 3. I'm gonna go through all this shit to see if I can fix it. Also, let me show you a little fucking gizmo. Hang on. So, I'm giving away all my video secrets right here, dude. So this is fix number 1 for the Win 3, right? Try this. I mean, only if you have a water block, obviously. Air not gonna fucking cool 700 watts, you know what I mean? So the second problem that happens if you do this is this is going to start pulling up to, like, so if you double shunt these ones and you single shunt this one, what is it here? Hang on, calculator. 80 times 1.625, 130. This PCI Express shunt can pull up to 130 watts, right? So you don't want that going through your PCI Express bus, right? So what you do instead, I mean, first of all, you have to, what's the word? You have to short the fuse, the 10 amp fuse that's there. 10 amp fuse. Because apparently somebody blew this in the EVGA form. I have no idea who it is. I have not verified it. Mine's fine. I have not blown it up. But apparently somebody has blown up their fuse doing this, right? So all you gotta do, you do the double shunt, you do the single shunt down here, you glue a fucking wire over top of the 10 amp fuse to bypass the fuse so it doesn't blow it. Now, some people might be like, hey, isn't that dangerous? The fuse is there for a reason. No, the fuse is there to protect we've been living for decades without fuses on our boards. It's fine. The fuse is not there for any other reason but to blow up if you're drawing more power than you're supposed to, right? Because Ampere cards have crazy ass fucking transients, which we know, right? Bypass this with a wire and some glue. Do you know what I mean? So that way, if it does blow up, you just take the fucking thing off with glue and EVGA doesn't know RMA that shit. You know what I mean? Glue everything. Don't solder shit. Just glue all this shit down. You know what I mean? Second thing. So let's say you double shunt the 3, single shunt the 1 down here, then you bypass the fuse down here. These ones you don't have to worry about. The 20 amp fuses can go up to like fucking crazy. The next problem that you're going to encounter is if your motherboard is over here. So I have an Apex, right? So my Apex has a little Molex connector down here. Molex. So I plug in the Molex here, the PCI Express slot here, CPU. The PCI Express slot gets power from the Molex, right? So I don't have a problem. My wife's Z490 Master, on the other hand, does not have a Molex. Hang on. Where the fuck's my paintbrush? My wife's Z490 Master does not have a Molex, right? So the only power that this thing is getting is from the 24 pin over here. And the problem with that is not only is the entire board getting power from there, but you're gonna start pulling 120 watts across the board, across all those thin fucking traces in the motherboard. I would say motherboards nowadays are built very robustly that this would not be a problem, but just in case, you can never be more, you can always be safe than sorry, right? You can get this thing from EVGA. It's a fucking old ass product, man, and Amazon has a few of them left, and I don't know why, but I got one. It's so old, it's actually using ketchup and mustard connectors, dude. It's so, and it's a Molex to PCI Express one-time slot. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's, what was it called? EVGA Power Boost or some shit? You have to use EVGA's products to fix EVGA's fucking problem, right? EVGA Power Boost. Oh, this thing, dude, this thing. Oh my god. If you can, okay, if you have a For the Win 3 card, so you guys have heard it here first. If you do have a For the Win 3 card, and you are planning on shunt modding it, and you don't have an Apex or a Molex on your motherboard, get this thing. And then essentially what this does, if you can find it, it's old as fuck. It's for like the old SLI days, right? So what this thing does, hang on, let me erase this. Paintbrush, here's your motherboard. Here's your 12 pin. And there's no Molex down here. Every motherboard has a one-time slot up here, right above the 16-time slot. So you take this EVGA Power Boost, you plug that shit in here, you plug a Molex over here, and all the power from your PCI Express slot on your video card is going to draw from this thing. And then the entire problem of this is gone.
Hello,
instantly. Right? Does that make perfect sense? Burn Scott played Hello Motherfucker. What's up, man? I don't even know how you guys play that shit. But kind of looks like a penis. Why do I fucking see penises everywhere, Christ? That was 100% unintentional. 100%, man. Yes, so that is my my future video test idea that I'm going to do once I get a water block. So I'm actually gonna chop this up for YouTube anyway. So to summarize, step one, hang on. Oh my god. To summarize, holy shit, step one, double shunt the 8 pins, single shunt the PCI Express. Step two, what the hell was step two again? Right, glue wire across fuse. Step three, get the EVGA Power Boost, PCI Express Power Boost. EVGA PCIe P Power Boost. You do all of these things, and I think you should be okay with the For the Win 3. And if you blow it up, just RMA it because you glued all that shit anyway. Fuck EVGA, dude. Fucking do that shit, blow it up, and send it back, dude. Let it fucking cost them some money for you. Cost them some money for you having to do this shit just to get what you paid for. Do you know what I mean? This is essentially what I'm gonna be doing in the future in a future video. Whenever it happens. But I've got all the shunts, I've got the wire, I've got the EVGA power boost now, I've got my wife's Z490 Master with no Molex, so I'm collecting all these parts and ideas for when I power mod her graphics card, right?
Hello, motherfucker.
Where there is a will, there is a way. There's always gonna be a way. Sup, YFD? Okay, let me go back to the chat here, fuck. That was a long ass rant. But that's gonna be a good clip for YouTube though. Double shunt PCI Express? I don't know if you should. You can if you double shunt the. So, step 4. If this does not work, then if as long as you have this, you can double shunt the PCI Express. Or if you have a Molex. Then it's fine. Who gives a shit? You know what I mean? Just fucking shunt all that shit. You know what I mean? Let it draw as much as it wants through the fucking board. But yeah. But you need this. Don't be drawing more than 120 watts through the fucking motherboard, right? Through like the entire board. That's a lot of resistance that it has to go through. Sticking with glue or going solder in the end? I'm going to solder the 2 resistors together, then glue that onto then glue the 2 as one piece onto the board. So I just want to verify that it works first before I solder it. Like I don't know if double shunting even works because I'm not going to double shunt the PCI Express, only the 8 pins. So I want to make sure that works first before I get to soldering all that shit down, right? But I wouldn't try gluing 2 resistors on, solder them together first, make it one solid piece, and then glue that shit on. And then put pressure on it with a thermal pad or whatever. It would work the exact same, right? And then I would validate with my power supply, just seeing if it pulls more than 700, right? Because right now it's power limited to around 700. Which it shouldn't be, but it is. So I want to see if it works first.